guy sitting in a dark room that smells like bad cucumbers.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Inconceivable!
Now featuring 11 listeners.
This is the Unique Geek.
You slimy scumbag, get on your face and give me 25.
This is the Unique Geek.
And welcome to another edition of 50 Days of Dragon Con, the podcast that is now sponsored by bacon-encrusted cornflakes.
Okay.
I don't know why. Just is.
I like that, you know.
Normally it'd be the other way around, but
Beginning.
no, we figured it out that the bacon needs to go on the cornflake, not the cornflake on the bacon.
Well, that's a better bacon to corn. Yeah, I like that better.
don't know what
I
that
think
means
that's a
at
better
all.
ratio. I don't know.
have
But
no
yay,
idea.
I have no idea where you even got that.
Sarah did say that was much better this time. My hand, I guess.
Your what?
My intro from the compared to yesterday, which nobody has heard when you're hearing this as a podcast because that
right,
one isn't
because
until after
yesterday
this one.
that didn't happen.
So
Right.
yesterday
It's
is
all
tomorrow.
timey. Right. It's all
Yeah.
timey-wimey, wibbly-dibbly stuff. And I know I just said that wrong, but John hates
Well,
Dr.
look,
Who, so.
I failed yesterday on my Labyrinth.
Yes,
Geek
you
Jump.
did.
In fact, I have
Oof.
to go back and rewatch it. The truth is, I've only seen Labyrinth once, and it was eons ago. The one thing I remember is a codpiece involved somewhere. Anyway,
There was that, and the way David Bowie did that thing with the ball on his hand.
I remember that.
Yeah, as the Goblin King. But yeah, no, it's just, you know, you bring up Labyrinth because that's one of my favorite movies. But I know a lot of people get kind of confused about like how Dragon Con's like all organized and stuff, and how the sausage
It's
gets
organized.
made. I know it does get organized, and we are very, very happy.
From what I understand, it just happens on the day of, and that's
yeah,
it.
no, that's not how this goes. That takes a lot of work for this. So you know what,
No.
John?
What?
Well, let's get somebody on here who can explain it to you. We have two people with us.
Yes.
We have Rachel, who is the co-chair of Dragon Con, and we have Mandy, who is the finance manager at Dragon Con. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
I love kind of this Brady Bunch.
You like this
we
story?
have because we're listening. Yeah,
Like
I
this
like the
story?
Brady Bunch. I just
So that
this is
means
great. What?
Rachel is your daughter and Mandy is mine. Is that how that works? I think that's how
Rock
the
on.
box
we would
works,
have
right?
so much fun
Sure.
at family reunions.
Mhm. It would be nonstop fun. So, wow, it has been a year about since we've talked to y'all on the podcast. So, what happened in 2021? How did it go? How crazy was it? COVID, whatever you want to
So
say. Right.
crazy. It was great, honestly. It was definitely, I would say, the most challenging year so far, and that's talking even 2020 with going virtual, which was pretty insane in itself. It was so much unexpected, so much re-engineering things that we had done for so many years to figure out how to do it in this new world. And really so many spectacular volunteers and directors stepping up and figuring out, you know, what this new world looked like for Dragon Con. And then add that to roughly 42,000 fans that got to come together safely and have a wonderful time. We could not have been more proud of our people showing up and staying masked the whole time. Having a great time. I saw more joy, I feel like, in our fans' faces than might have been ever before with coming together after those 2 years. So, you know, from our perspective, it was hard and wonderful and just humbling all at the same time. Mandy, what'd you think?
It was sorely needed. Like when I
Yes.
hit the
Ugh.
floor in the Marriott and I could feel it, I mean, it was just what I needed. And another thing is, yeah, we hadn't done this for a while, and a lot of our hotel partners and at the Mart, they had been, out of commission for a while too. So it was great. Rachel and I were born in Atlanta. We love the city. We were able to bring some much needed love back to the city, and everybody just rose to the occasion. The people that were working at the hotels everywhere, our fans could not have been better. And so it just was like, I get chill bumps even talking about it. Our volunteers, everybody, it was I went in very nervous, just not knowing what to expect. And I came out like it was the first year. Afterwards, Rachel and I are usually pretty tired for a couple of weeks. We were ready to hit the ground running. Like for the
Oh,
first time, we were
wow.
like, we don't even need a break. We're ready to start planning because it was
Oh.
that like energizing to see.
Well, I think that's great, and I love how y'all are saying that it was the happiness and the energy. I mean, it was amazing because so many people say, "Oh, I can't. If I can't see your whole face, I can't tell what you're thinking, feeling." Da da da. I'm like, yes, you can. The
Absolutely.
first of all, of course, the tone and the laughing and the oh, there you are, and all of that, and then just the pure joy in eyes when people were walking by, and it would just
Mhm.
it felt great. It was absolutely wonderful, and a lot of those hotel people, this was their first Dragon Con. They
It
had
was.
never even understood what it was like. So yeah, it was interesting. But
That's
the hotels were wonderful. That was not a negative. I mean, it was just going to be interesting, and they were great. Sorry, John.
That's interesting because you think about all the turnover that's occurred over the last 2-3 years. They're because you think about this that those folks a lot of those veterans folks probably either had to find another job or whatever during this time because obviously the hotels weren't taking a lot of business at the time. And you probably lost a lot of seasoned professionals from the years of Dragon Con that have been there on staff that kind of know what to expect. But it's
Yeah,
also
definitely.
you limited sizes last year, so that I'm sure that helped. It wasn't the full barrage of normal
Yeah,
people.
from
so.
our perspective, it definitely helped because the volunteers, it took a little bit of pressure off of the areas and things like that. And even things like closed for cleaning. We never realized really how much that helped the tracks with the lower volunteer numbers a bit. But the hotels were interesting because, they had really reduced staff and bringing people on. It was both numbers as well as new people and all those things. But they did really rise to the occasion. But it was um, it's a story to be told one day of the things that you experience that you never think about when they're out of use, to the capacity that they're used to for a couple of years. Things that happen behind the scenes that we had the ability to see with our partners and work through everything with them. And you just couldn't ask for better people with the hotels. From absolutely the top level all the way down. They love us. They truly love our fans. They love our weekend. But it was a sight. It was a sight. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely
They
things
were,
did not think were gonna
And
happen.
they were all shocked at our mask compliance. They were taking pictures of even when we were walking in between buildings,
Mm,
people had the masks on. I mean, the hotels, and we were to a point because, this is something we hadn't done before and we were nervous about it. But I think everybody just wanted to be back together. We were going to do what we had to do to make it safe and comfortable. And so it was great.
And in fairness, Dragon Con attendees in general are, especially the heart of the Dragon Con attendees, are rules followers. Even though we like to break the rules in certain ways, but at the core of it, when we know that
stretch 'em. We like to stretch 'em.
But when it's typically for safety and our fellow geeks, we typically in general follow the right rules and don't go overboard. Now, of course, as we know, there are people that will violate and break those that sort of generalization. But again, in general, we are rule followers. So I completely believe that each one of them had the intention of keeping others safe, and it wasn't necessarily just that's a rule. No, it's also to keep other people safe. And plus, what would, if you think about it, if it turned into, and all things point to that there wasn't any big outbreak there, but if it had, what kind of, that would be bad reputation back, and it would reflect, and it also could negatively impact future events and things like that. So I think that it helps that you've got this kind of community around it too. So.
Yeah. And I think that also helped the hotels and the other things going on too. As you said, we're rules followers. So, when those people were taking pictures of the compliance, they're also thinking, look, the next person who says you can't make these, mine won't comply with this rule, the City of Atlanta rule that was following the CDC recommendation, they're like, yeah, well, yes, you can. We had 40,000 of them over the last, a
Right.
month ago. So you can follow whatever you've got to follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
but it was great.
Phenomenal job.
Yeah, Sarah Rose actually says, we love the smaller con size last year. It was so nice to be able to walk in the Marriott and the dealer's hall. Yes, that's true. But since we're on this topic, is there going to be a cap again this year, or is it more loose, or is it? And if so, have you decided on a number? And if you haven't, I completely understand. We're really at the very beginning of all this.
Yeah, definite cap. One of the things that we walked away from last year was understanding that not only did we hear the fan feedback loud and clear, of how glorious it was to be able to move around and things, but we felt it too. We joke around in Dragon Con terms, when you say I'm going to be somewhere in 5 minutes, that typically means 20 to 30. Like, that's just like natural. Like, if Mandy ever tells me she's coming to me or I'm coming to her and we're at least a hotel or two apart, okay, cool. But like
See you next Tuesday. Yeah,
right. But
gotcha.
like last year, legit, I could be like, hey, I'll be down there in 5 minutes to go to the Sheraton or whatever. And I'd be there in 5 minutes. And
Yeah.
it was spectacular. So yeah, certainly we are going to do one thing we committed actually mid-event last year. We even told people at closing ceremonies is we knew then that no matter what the state of the pandemic was and everything, that we wanted to do it slowly and strategically, growing back again. So we've kind of taken this as an opportunity to look back 10, 15 years ago and really think about, what do we want for the show? And so we made some changes that made it a little bit more able to not have quite so many people with some of the price breaks and things like that. And decided that, none of us, I think, know that where we want to be in a few years, but we knew this year we wanted to hopefully have more of our friends there if the pandemic allowed. And it looks like as of now that, we feel comfortable that, but we just wanted to take it very slow, right?
There you go.
Very,
Knock
very
on,
slow.
sorry,
Exactly.
I was trying to knock on my head, but yeah. So
wood.
yes,
I keep-
knock on wood.
I'm in
So,
IT.
a little
I'm in
bit-
IT. I keep a block of wood
Yeah.
everywhere to knock on.
I think
Anyway,
that's
go on.
fantastic. But yeah, nothing like 2019. I actually just got done writing my letter for the progress report to go in there, and Mandy came up with a line that, we're happy with what we're seeing. We're staying still very close with all of the public health officials we worked with last year and all those things, but we're not quite ready to party like it's 1999. Oh, wait, actually 2019. We're not
Right.
going
Yeah,
back
right.
there overnight. We don't have a desire to. So that's where we're at now. We haven't committed to a specific number. Early on in the year, we said probably 60. We felt like might be more comfortable as opposed to almost 90 in 2019. But like I say, every day is a lesson learned, is, seeing what is going on with the pandemic, talking to all of the people, reading the guidelines, all those things, and we're going to figure out. But we know we did want to take a different approach than some of the other, shows or things out there. And regardless of anything that was going on, we definitely wanted to take it slow back to where we were before pandemic.
Yeah. And so, Mandy, actually, I want to ask you about that too, that we're not going back to 2019, but what about doing one-day memberships? I know that was something very limited last year, and I didn't know people are going to wonder about that too.
Well, we are still going to have a limited number of memberships. Definitely not the number of one-day memberships we had in 2019. However, we are going to be able to expand upon what we had in 2021.
Oh,
And
good.
yes, we are going to be releasing that information. Rachel, correct me if I'm wrong. We're trying to get as close as we can to COVID protocols, what it's going to look like, so that people, before they get their membership, can kind of see what's expected or what it's going to look like and go from there.
Yeah,
But we
our
work
goal is to announce similar to last year by the end of July and have the memberships on sale by August 1.
Okay.
Where it would be. And one thing we did announce, I think it was almost a month ago now, all of my days blur together, was that we will have some Saturday only. Mandy mentioned that we're building on it. Not nearly as many as we've had in the past because that Saturday was, again, glorious. We felt it, we heard it, we loved it. But, you know, one of the big things is it was important to look at strategy-wise what makes sense for us. And one of the things we did find is those Saturday only memberships contribute to the show in very different ways than some of the other ones, especially for the success of the celebrities. And that's something that's really, really important if we're going to continue to get guests and things like that. And so like we're finding that balance. We're really walking that line, trying to figure out what the best things are. And so that was one of the driving forces of bringing them back. Is it was incredibly apparent because all aspects of the show, the art show, the vendors, the comic and pop artist alley, all of the kind of core ones that really are fan driven and like Dragon Con fam driven is what I like to say, had some of the best years they've ever had last year because people were, you know, able to walk around. You could get to the tables. You can move around the show even better. But the Walk of Fame had some challenges. And like I'm very transparent. And so that's a key factor we do have to look at in planning for the show and figuring out how to make sure that, you know, they knew that it was a growing year and some of the decisions and why we made them. But that was a big piece of definitely needing to bring them back in some form or fashion.
Well, and I think it can't help but also help the hotels. It can help the food people. It can help also the vendors. You know, if you know you're only going to be there one day, you make sure that somebody's going to be going through that vendor room for a while. So I'm sure it helps that. None of our partners. I mean, it's a lot of fun doing Dragon Con, but it's a whole lot of finance things and moving parts, Mandy, if I'm not correct.
You are correct.
Yeah. So I did want to ask something, and I'm a little worried, but what about virtual memberships for 2022? Has any decision been made, or what's the idea?
So as far as like the virtual side of things, we are still going to continue with the streaming for this year. Each year we'll evaluate it going forward of what it looks like and how it looks, but we're planning on still keeping the streaming membership at $10. So a very, affordable amount. And honestly, I think even the people there probably purchase it looking at the numbers just as much, if not more, than people that are not able to join us because, you know, there's no way to make it to all the programming at Dragon Con. So that's a piece. Our fan tracks, again, have stepped up this year and produced 2 panels per track. And so that's going to be on our fan track channel. We still have the main channel. And we are still doing a virtual marketplace. So the vendors and the artists. That was my favorite part. I think last year, Mandy and I actually, and Ben was a part of this, we kind of were talking about when to leave it open. And it was somewhat of a whim. We decided to leave it open till the Friday after. But man, did that show that was a very good decision because I think people were just beat and then got home and went through I wish I would have gotten that. The buyer's remorse, but in reverse. I didn't buy it. Let me go online and purchase it. So those days after the show were spectacular for some of our vendors and artists. So we'll definitely plan on having that as well this year. So whether you're not joining us or not wanting to go to the vendor hall or just forget and want to get more, that's something that we are going to have again.
Or one double. Hey, sometimes you need 2 Baby Yoda.
Right. Or you bring him home for one kid and then the other kid's like, what?
Yeah, that does not go well. That does not. I would promise you that. Yeah, because John got 2 of the dragons from one year, and then last year I missed getting him a dragon.
Oh no!
So and the store said they were going to have him back, but they haven't been able to. I think there's been. I'm not in the know anymore. I understand that, and it's fine. What?
You have a dragon up there next to the carpet.
I
see
see
it.
Yeah, that's the water one.
Yeah. Yes. He needed the blue one, and that was the other year he wasn't there. So that's got that. But
Well,
that's been wonderful.
The water
too.
one was 2020, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was virtual.
I don't think anybody was there.
It was
yeah, you
virtual.
were. I think you were. Yeah, you
Oh,
were.
okay. Then I just. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I was.
ordered it
I
for
was
you
there.
while you
I
ordered
just.
it. Yes,
I was there
right.
as much as anybody else was.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's awesome.
Actually, so I don't know if this would go to Mandy, but there's actually sorry, that covers up your entire face. Hello.
Okay.
So there's for the virtual streaming attendees. Zan actually has a question. Is there any way to donate to Open Hand of Atlanta? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Project Open Hand of Atlanta.
In advance of the con, in show that it's from Dragon Con, or is that not possible?
It looks like Rachel is typing something very diligently or trying to get the exact information. But I know that was something that was talked about during last year, which is, I keep wanting to say it's 2020, but it wasn't. It was really 2022. It's like a year and a half or just kind of like, whoosh. Yeah. But
I'm going to take a second while Rachel
Yes,
is looking
please.
for the
Okay.
answer, just to say thank you, Zan. She's one of our Eternals. She thinks of the best questions. So it's good to have her on here. And some of the things that we come up with come from ideas that she's had. So hi, Zan. Looking
Hi,
forward to
Zan.
seeing you.
yes. Yes. I love her cape.
I
The
know.
Queen of the Marriott cape. That's awesome.
But yeah, I was looking online because I could have sworn we put it up, but we haven't put it up yet. But yes, they have actually already created a landing page, and we'll be promoting that throughout social as well. And we are also going to have the text to give ish type thing where you have the ability to do your words to a certain text number and donate that way. So we'll have two ways to donate, both whether you're from home or at the show. And just want to give money versus participating in some of our amazing auctions and coloring and all the sorts of things that our creative charity team put on at the show. There will be ways to just flat out donate if you're not able to make it, or you just want to do that in advance. Yes.
I also do want to tell people I like how you said auctions, because I think one of my husband's favorite presents last year was the Star Trek towel and hand towel from the Las Vegas experience. I
Cool.
think there was maybe a washcloth. So, yeah, and I got that at the auction, Everett Beach. Thanks a lot.
Now, since we're talking about charities, last year's charity was Help Me Out Boys and Girls Club. Is that right?
Big
Yes.
Brothers Big Sisters.
Big Brothers Big Sisters.
See, you got
there's
it that
two
time.
things.
That
One,
was my problem. I did.
I need to apologize again to charity one more time, because I thought I had posted that podcast before the show started, before Dragon Con started, and then I was looking through some emails, and then I saw that, hey, is this going to be up or not? I'm like, oh, that was the one that I missed, so it didn't get posted till later. I did encourage everyone to go listen to it and to donate anyway, even though it's not going to get matched by Dragon Con. But can we give that? I know we did already give out that number before publicly, but do you guys remember what that number was that wound up going to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Atlanta?
I can get it probably quickly, but Mandy might have it.
I'm gonna say
faster.
I zoomed in on
I'm
Mandy
looking
immediately
too.
because I'm like, this seems like a money thing.
I like how it almost feels like a competition, John.
That is. This
No.
is the game part, right?
What'd you
Yeah, that's
say,
the game we're
Mandy?
playing tonight.
I
It's
said,
who
this is
can,
the game part,
Who
right?
can look it up faster?
who can find the Excel spreadsheet quicker.
Dang it.
Hold on.
Didn't mean to trip everyone up.
That's okay.
No. It's fun.
Talk amongst yourselves.
We'll talk about ourselves. So I do have to say that it's been a wonderful just seeing how our group still wanted to give it to charity any way humanly possible.
Right.
That even if it was just a link. So, as people we've said already on this podcast, Dragon Con people got good hearts. So thank y'all.
While you're looking it up, Jerry did, before the show started, put up a comment saying happy belated to Rachel. So what are the big Tuesday night kickoff plans?
That is hysterical, but not.
Yes,
all at the
thank
same
you.
time.
Don't. Thursday.
Thursday is early enough. Okay, the number I have, Maymay, did you find yours?
No, I have not.
Because you can tell me the number I have was won for $142,827.44, and that includes.
Oh, it should have been 42 cents. No.
I know. I find that was my birthday yesterday. Or Friday. I finally hit 42.
So you've now
There
figured
you
everything
go.
out. Now you start to question. Now you start to question
what
what.
to me quite like I thought it would.
It's little dribs and drabbles, and then you forget other dribs and drabbles.
Okay.
It's not as great as we all thought it would be.
Right. I was
there
so
you go,
excited.
yeah.
I woke up thinking I was gonna like have all this knowledge and like know it all, and I was like, oh,
It's because you already did.
I love you.
There you go.
That's why you're the
Oh,
best
that's a
sister in the
nice
wide
sister
world.
line.
Sarah, Sarah Rose also asked another question, which was, are we going to get physical progress reports this year? I really love getting them in the mail. It's a happy surprise mixed in with all the nasty adulting letters.
I kind of feel like we need to send Sarah a letter from us.
Yeah,
I know.
just in general.
The progress reports are not in the mail. That is honestly looking like it may be a permanent thing. It definitely is for the years that we're kind of in limbo, because we found that it was such a beneficial thing, honestly, to have a lot of extra time to get the stuff in. I know a lot of people have noticed that the guest announcements are a lot later than I like them. And things like that. And so having it digital gives us actually almost 3 additional weeks to get information in, including things on single day memberships, including guests, including all those things. And so until we reach more normalcy.
Well, and the printer, there's a challenge getting the kind of paper we like to use. And so we have to start that earlier and earlier every year. And so we like to get the most current information and up to date out in that. So
I mean, I really hate the bad news, because like I love coming on here to be like, and then no. So I'm sorry. But like if we can get her address, we're gonna send her some love, me and Mandy.
I was going to say, we're going to be writing and then at the next podcast, she's going to be like, okay, I've gotten enough.
Yeah,
She's
please
going to be like, please back to that.
Here's all. I can't wait to talk to somebody who's not here.
I don't want a progress report anymore. I don't want any updates.
I don't know.
But Sarah is firmly in the Tuesday is the new Thursday camp, so maybe you don't want to give her any encouragement.
All right, not. That might have
You might not get a nice letter. And I just want to say, John, all of this day is the new whatever day. It's all your fault. Every bit of it, and you need to own it.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, no, that's that was supposed to be a bad thing to own it.
I'm not. I'm okay with it. I'm fine.
Darn it.
So speaking of protocols, because we really didn't ask breach this particular question, will there be a mask mandate this year, or have we made that decision just yet? Don't know yet.
We have not made it. It is like, honestly, we're in daily communication with the city, watching health protocols, exactly what we were doing yesterday. And, right now, a lot of the CDC recommendations change based on numbers. And so that's why we're trying to give it to the last minute, but also allowing time for people to make plans.
Yeah. I think that's the hard thing is the CDC, whom we've worked with them quite a bit after the show to talk about like our successes and our lessons learned and things like that have been phenomenal. But, right now, the knowledge base that they're coming from, they're really encouraging looking at community spread. And so, it's watching it by the counties, by the everything, and letting that. And, right as of today, Fulton County's in the low, which is different. And,
keep going.
I know. Yes. And, we're watching everything. We're watching the numbers. We're watching the BA5 variant. We're watching all of those things. And so we did take the mildly, I don't even want to use the term mildly, somewhat unpopular thought of giving it as much time as possible. So we feel like we're making the best decision, both for the community and for obviously the longevity of Dragon Con and everything, and just doing the right thing by everything. And none of us felt comfortable calling it a few months ago because everything changes so quickly. If something, gets worse, we want to be able to adapt and do the right thing. If things get better, we want to be able to. So those will come out at the end of the month. I will say that we are having a lot of discussion Not that I didn't love talking to my family day in and day out, always have. Luckily, we have the best, both by blood and by DragonCon. It's a lot of discussion and just really keeping up and seeing, all of the new guidelines and everything. And, we're very grateful that right now it is looking, much better with numbers. But we also have learned a lot in these last 2 years that we can't take anything for granted. Even the small successes were large successes. So we're just kind of, waiting and seeing and just going from there as best we can. Oh, this is fun. I feel like, what is this?
I don't know that I like.
Can we do the hear no evil, see no evil?
And I think,
Sorry.
Rachel, as you just said,
Yeah.
you guys have been very, very careful. The city of Atlanta has been careful. CDC has been careful. And we weren't a super spreader event last year. That is a great thing. And building on that and doing what we got to do is important, folks. It's I had COVID. It's not fun. Trust me. And I've been vaxxed and boosted. I got it. The good news is I never had to go to the hospital. And that's very likely because I got vaccinated and boosted. So, yay.
Same.
COVID
that was my
sucks.
present for family vacation this year. I got it. Right in the middle of it. So I couldn't hang with the family.
Oh, that's
That's
so
okay.
awful. That's
I didn't go
okay.
to the hospital. I got the antivirals because of my immune stuff. So
There you go.
and they work, and that was a great thing, but
Yeah.
not a fun experience. You are correct.
I will tell my Paxlovid story later. We're not going to do it right
Okay.
now. Paxlovid was, oh boy.
Oh wow! Run.
It was interesting. And actually it was good up to 2 days. And then I got high as a kite. There's a long story with it. Don't worry about it. I had a drug interaction.
Rachel's
but
like,
as
well,
we're
I
talking
wanted
about-
that
I
antiviral.
know,
Why,
it's like,
why didn't I
it's not
get
my
that one?
experience at all.
Fine.
It was a medication interaction. We don't know which one. And I was just like, wee. And my doctor's like, yeah, no, stop.
my
You shouldn't. I was
goodness.
like, it didn't hurt. It felt good. And that's not it. But on a serious question, so we talked about membership count, but what about guest count? What are you hoping to have numbers wise?
Okay. Great question. So everybody can stop wondering and things. Honestly, it will be less than 2019. Maybe a bit more than 2021, but for the same reasons. One, making sure we have the space to keep everybody like safe and healthy, especially if we might not have the same protocols based on like the health recommendations and the community standards and things. And then two, like I know people don't want to talk about it, and I know people don't, but our job is making sure that DragonCon is around for years and years to come.
Mhm.
And a big part of that with the guests is making sure that the guests are very successful. So it's really important that we do keep them low or lower in response to our attendance cap and things like that, and making sure that they have an opportunity to be very successful. So I would anticipate in between 2021 and 2019. So a little bit more, but definitely not, where we were at. It's got to be strategic, and we're really looking out for the best for the show in the long term, even when that makes me the biggest Debbie Downer there is. And I get it because I read all the comments.
She does. And you know what?
That
I'm
was
really
your first mistake.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
don't read the comments. But, do read the comments because some of them are great constructive criticism, but it's the others.
Right.
I'm ecstatic with the guest list so far because Joe
Okay.
Flanagan is
Oh.
already listed.
He's the
Things
sweetest.
change. Things change. You never know. He also has, if you watch it, look at his ears. They look like little elf ears. Shh.
Get out of town.
No, I'm not. They point. They have a little point.
Aw.
Okay, but I'm bringing that up because I have one of the little tiny action figures, like the 6 inches from Stargate Atlantis. And this year, I will stand in line and get him to sign it. And
You
I
can
am
stand in
I
line.
can do that
That's so
this year.
exciting.
I'm so excited. I can't stand it already. It's like I'm getting them out. I'm like, oh, I wonder who else is gonna. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited about that.
It's interesting that you talk about the guests in the Saturday. Earlier we talked about this, the Saturday attendees and Saturday only attendees. And if you think about it, I see why that would make sense from the because we do have a lot of repeat guests that love to come to Dragon Con. But if you think about when you take out the Saturday people, you don't have the people that are just sort of, unaddicted yet. They haven't gotten their first taste of Dragon Con yet.
Yes.
They aren't the always attendees, and so when you have some of those repeat people, they're not necessarily going. If I've already got Flanagan's picture or whatever, I might not want to go back and see him again, even though might still enjoy the work. It's just I've got what I needed, and and so I could see how that would cut into those people's reason for attending, right? Reason for coming in.
Honestly, one of the most productive things when we were looking at it and just kind of scratching our heads, because like I say, everywhere else, most successful year ever, or like very up there and everything. And really it was really interesting when we looked at autograph shows specifically. It's a different behavior. It really is. It is the single days. It's the people that are in town that just want to go kind of meet their favorite star and leave or whatever. So it's a different behavior. So I found that really, really interesting, because by and large, that is not what Dragon Con is. And we know that, and a lot of the decisions we made, and we still stand by them. And I'm still very, very happy. And I think Mandy shares the same sentiment that how successful it was to not have Saturdays overall last year. And it was the right decision for us in the state of the pandemic and everything. But still, we were making decisions looking at the overall. And so it's an interesting lesson. And I think that is the thing I would like to say to anybody that is listening and wondering, is as fun as it is to think that it's a fly by the seat of our pants. And some of it is, I will give you that. A lot of it is with the planning, sometimes just going with instinct and things like that. But a lot of it really is like stopping and thinking about what could have done this, or why did this happen, and what can we do to change it? What can, what variable in there perhaps directed this, and going from there and doing the best we can to make sure that we're doing the best by our fans, but also making sure that all the important pieces of the puzzle are accounted for and doing well.
Well, and to that end, Mandy's in charge of the finances, and part of that is you got to ensure that if we want to have this around in the future, we have to think about the financial security of the show too. And I know a lot of us feel like it's our show, it's a fan run show and everything, and that's true. But at the end of the day, the hotels don't give up their space for free. These guests don't come up. You guys don't give up your time for free. And surprisingly, because you have these other conventions that are, let's say, bigger, that are run by big corporations, right? And they have a lot of people, and it's really, and you can say it's all about money. And I know that at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about money for Dragon Con, but you do have to keep the lights on. You do have to pay the people that do have to work. And it's a smaller staff. It's smaller staff than those bigger conventions work on. And by the way, if you look at it and you reflect on the amount that you're paying to attend, is usually way less than some of these other bigger, we'll call them bigger conventions that don't do the fan service, aren't open basically 24/12. Is that how many days we are now?
Stop it.
Five.
So to that end, and please don't feel that you have to answer this, Mandy. From a financial health standpoint, is Dragon Con still doing well enough that we can look forward to many more years of Dragon Con? I know the future's hard to predict, but
that is our goal. That is our goal. That is something. We have an awesome team. They are good at operating, being good stewards of what they have, the money that comes in. We don't like to just willy-nilly raise prices on our fans. So it is a very strategic kind of a outlook that we have. And it helps because, we grew up here. I can't imagine doing anything else. And so as long as have anything to do with it, there will be a Dragon Con.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that's also something it all ties together, folks. When you really start thinking about it, it does. But that's the great thing about keeping Dragon Con going is building the fan base. So those one day people later become full 5 day members.
Right.
And then at least for me, I've already raised a geek. I and my son volunteers for Dragon Con, and his girlfriend now volunteered last year and is planning on doing it again. So, we're bringing in those generations of geeks, but I got my niece and nephew I'm hoping to bring this year. So, I just keep going down my family line. The more geeks I make, the more people come to Dragon Con.
I
But
love
that's
it.
just my thinking, because if I can corrupt a whole lot of kids to sci-fi, I'm all right with that. That's what I go down for. I'm all right for that one. you know.
That's awesome. We're
She's-
talking about family. Dad's still
Oh.
trying to talk Mandy and I into having more kids to continue the family.
You need someone to pass
Not
it on
gonna
to.
happen.
Yeah.
We're
That is
good.
not happening.
You're good. Nah.
Yeah.
It's a hard stop, but he sure does mention it every time. So
Yeah, he says if I would have known then what I know now, I would have had a baseball team full of kids. Well, of course, my mom doesn't think that's very funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom doesn't
At all.
think that's funny.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's not funny. Not at all. I'm seeing very.
I mean,
I like
how many
disagreement.
how many kids are there in your
Just the two of
siblings?
us.
Just the two of
you?
us.
And
But
we
we
each
married
have two.
geeks,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
they're both very involved, and
Yeah.
So we're doing what
And
we
you're
can.
raising geeks too. So
Oh, for sure. and we're
that's
having a
lot.
great time watching it. There's a family joke on which one of them is gonna, like come to it and decide this is what they want to do. Because that's something that mom and dad both were incredibly supportive and incredibly, did not want to put us into something that we didn't want to be in. So it was never imposed on us or anything like that. It actually is kind of funny how it came to be. Where we just decided, oh, no, actually, I do. Actually, we love it both so much that we didn't want to see it go and change and become corporate or become any of those things that. So we're hoping one day some of ours have that aha moment because we're not pressuring them, but we sure are hoping.
Yeah, it's interesting because even my little tirade that I was on just a little bit ago, Dragon Con literally, I mean, it has an interesting history, but at the end of the day, it is really a family run, and extended extended family run. So and then you invite your extended family in. So yeah, and it's nice, and it's one of the things that obviously makes Dragon Con so special, with all of us and just within the convention community as well.
Yeah, it is. And as I always say, Dragon Con is a geek family reunion. Other people say that. And it's the family reunion you don't mind going to.
Yeah,
You might not want to talk to that uncle in the corner, but you can talk to that uncle in the corner. You can find something. So there you go. All right, John, I know what you're about to do to these
Yeah,
lovely
I was thinking
people.
that it might be time for a game.
Yeah, I thought
I'm
so.
gonna go ahead.
But this is a good game. I actually this is a good one because what John is doing now has been we're going to Jackbox. So you will need either your phone
Okay.
or look, Rachel already got it. It's right
I'm
here.
ready. I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So we're gonna be doing that.
Yeah, anybody that wants to play in the audience can. I'll give you the room number now. If you go to Jackbox TV and it's CIYB.
Wait, do we have to get in too? Hold on.
Yeah. I'm sure
Oh.
we'll be fine.
Okay. I'm like, wait, what?
No, you
Okay.
can get in there. Oh, Gabe got in there first. Oops.
So Jackbox.tv.
Actually, Gabe. Whoops. I meant not to let Gabe. You were right. I should have waited.
Well, you could, Gabe. This isn't trying to be mean, but oh shoot, we're filling up quick. John, you got to make sure Rachel and Mandy are there.
You guys all got in. It's just
Okay.
a matter of
Okay, there I am.
Gabe, I'm going to trust you because you've got the VIP slot, which means you have to verify.
Yeah, I told you.
And Sarah didn't get in. I don't think. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah.
Sorry, Sarah. Gabe, are you going to be? Can you put it in the chat window? You're going to be good with this, right? Do not abuse this teeny tiny sliver of power, please.
Oh, he looks totally legit. His little green
Oh,
emoji.
she's actually, she's a little upset. So one
Oh.
thing, I'll just bring this up in here because Sarah didn't want it necessarily right on the necessarily posted on the podcast, but her, one of her concerns about not having the protocols is, well, those of them that have health concerns, it does make them feel a little easier with the health protocols. And if you want, you can head over to Facebook at this post, and you can read the rest of hers. And I completely understand, Sarah. I understand where you're coming from. And I'll be honest, last year I did not attend. I was set up as a professional, but then I didn't. I pulled the plug just because I do have concerns at my house with my wife, who has an immune deficiency, or whatever. Not you know what I mean. So yes, I completely understand where you're coming from. And I will leave it at that.
Leave it at that. And I'll just also say, as someone who had to be very careful early on, especially, the decision to stay, and this was a great thing DragonCon did. And I know we're supposed to play in a game, and I'm no longer a director, so this is actually not just because they're on this podcast. The one thing DragonCon did is worked very closely with all of the directors from fan tracks up and down, the people for the loading, vendor room, whatever. And the great thing about that was they were willing to talk to us. And if we had concerns, they listened. And also, if something came up and we couldn't do it, they were like, we're going to, your second, your other volunteers, you're going to be good. We're going to keep it going, because, 3 days, I could have gotten a COVID diagnosis 3 days before con. Well, then wasn't going to be there. So yeah, they were very, very wonderful for that. So yeah,
Okay, so
we're all trying. Okay,
I'm gonna actually have to make you guys all sign back in again. I apologize because I did screw something up here when I set this room up. Let me exit out of this and make sure that I get the right room going. I apologize for everyone who was in there. Leigh, if you want to tell everyone how to get a hold of us while I do that.
Okay, there are a lot of ways to get a hold of us. We do have a Facebook group. We also have a YouTube channel, he told me, and I think we have a Twitch. So please send those, any comments there. We also do have an email, and that email is 50days@theuniquegeek.com. So that's how to contact us on that. And we also have a phone number, which I do not know at the top of my head, and it's not listed. But in a few minutes, John will be saying it, and it'll be scrolling across the screen if you're watching it. So that's where we are, and I'm just waiting on John at this point. Do I need to keep on going forward? John. Yep. Okay. So Rachel and Mandy.
Yeah, we got it. We got it now. Let me put it up there again.
Well, see, I was going to ask.
The new room number is NJ.
Wait.
The room code is NJAE. Room code? You got it. NJAE.
There we go. I think Mandy might have to be our VIP this time. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. NJAE. There we go. I apologize to anybody that wanted to join earlier but did not. Somehow didn't get in this time. We'll wait one more time.
And we got it.
And we got everybody. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get this started. Sorry to start on a bummer note here. You guys can hear this okay, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, no.
The name of this game is Quiplash 3. Funny versus clever. My name is Schmitty, and this was all recorded before my much-publicized trial. And if you didn't make it in the game, don't pout about it. Jump in the audience and get your revenge. I mean, vote. Round 1 is upon us. You're going to see 2 prompts on your device. Answer each one with a brilliant response. Soon, you'll go up against another player's answers while everyone else votes for their favorite. You get points based on the percentage of people who choose your answer. Off we go.
All right, so everyone should see something on their device now. I'll go ahead and mute that so we don't have to listen to the entire 82 seconds. You will be filling in the blanks, and they're seemingly Dragon Con related. I believe we played this particular episode last year as well. But we'll do that. So to answer the question, 813-3210-884 is the number to call and leave a comment. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook and or YouTube and or Twitch, apparently. Pretty much all those are The Unique Geek handles. And we'll be posting, we post when we have a new scheduled guest coming on, a new recording that we'll do, so that we can have some fun with our friends that are live. Anyway. Yeah. That's that. Let me put the music back on. Do do do.
Just a few seconds left.
I did it. I remembered it was 2,
Okay,
John. I'm very
not
proud of myself.
responsible for what happens next. And we start with
What to get a Dragon Con attendee who has everything? An Eternal membership or Dragon Con Eternal membership?
Wow.
Which one should you get? An Eternal membership or a
That's
Dragon Con
hard
Eternal membership?
question.
I think my answer that I would have been putting in here is, Patrick Stewart. But that would be bad. Oh, you
It looks
did
like
not.
Rachel wins it from me. It was Rachel versus Mandy, and Rachel
How
won.
did Rachel that? How did
Fun
y'all
new
get this
game
in?
created at Dragon Con 2021.
here's the fun part. Pick your favorite quip.
Create a cult or werewolfing on the ceiling. Fun new game created at Dragon Con 2021. Create a cult wins. And that was Steve.
Thank you, Mandy.
I was with you.
And
Lee.
that was a good one,
Let's see
Steve.
the next one.
What an alarm clock at Dragon Con could say that would wake you right up.
Now it gets real. Pick your favorite.
Wake up, the apple pie is almost gone, or you are late for a panel. An alarm clock at Dragon Con could say this to wake you right up. Wake up, the apple pie is almost gone, or wait, you're late for a panel. Late for a panel wins. It's Eternal Zans.
Next on the docket.
Absolute terror every year.
A blood type only found in Dragon Con attendees.
Okay,
Type
choose your
DC
favorite.
or 100% donation guaranteed. A blood type only found in Dragon Con attendees, 100% donation guaranteed, or Type DC. And 100% donation guaranteed by Chris
Next.
is the winner. Zack Snyder presents Blank, the musical, Dragon Con, the musical, or
Decisions.
Musistache
Choose your
Superman,
favorite.
the musical. Zack Snyder presents either Dragon Con, the musical, or Mustache Superman, the musical. Mustache Superman, this musical. Set it together. Oh, split the room.
Oh, right in the middle. Woohoo!
And next,
Best thing to find out about your Dragon Con room when you check in.
all
A
right,
good-looking
one
next-door
like
neighbor,
this.
or you got a free legacy room. I don't know how that happens. A good-looking next-door neighbor, or that you got a free legacy room, is the best thing to find out about your Dragon Con room when you check in. Legacy room wins.
There are good-looking people everywhere.
Mandy put the good-looking door. next door
I'm
neighbor.
okay.
They're everywhere at Dragon Con. Come on.
Okay, creepiest thing
Okay,
Thanos
everybody,
could whisper
favorite
into
whip.
Captain America's ear while hugging him is, "You are America's ass," or "Hail Hydra." The creepiest thing Thanos could whisper into Captain America's ear while hugging him. America's ass wins. As
That was
is
hilarious.
foretold. Dragon's lair is filled with chocolate
Time to pick
gelt
the one you like
and
best.
dragon eggs, or drunk dancers in the Marriott. Dragon's lair is filled with DragonCon gelt and dragon eggs, or drunk dancers in the Marriott.
Chocolate wins. We need the energy in
chocolate
this.
eggs.
Round 1 is but a memory. Let's see those scores.
All right, let's see who's winning. Eternal Zan's winning, 1,800. Steve is in second place with 1,700.
Okay, round 2
Yeah.
is knocking on the door. Prompts are a little more challenging, so the
Uh-oh.
points are doubled.
All right, you should be getting something sent to your devices now. Those of you that are listening to the podcast and not live will probably not hear the rest of this between here, because I don't need you to hang around for 80 seconds listening to my nonsense. Do. I wish there was a way for me to see the scores now as opposed to whatever. Doesn't matter.
Oh, shoot. Yes.
Almost out of time. Don't forget your safety quips.
There we go. Oh, people are starting to
I got it.
finish
A lot
up.
of typing. That was a lot of typing.
That was really hard.
Yeah.
What is
There
the
we go.
most- yeah,
Let's see
nonsensical
some action.
answer. I don't even.
Me too.
Like, I'm
Let's
actually
set it
embarrassed
off
by
with-
one.
Name of a perfume that encapsulates the DragonCon experience.
Now,
Dragon's
vote.
Breath or Ode de 2 a.m. Rave or Rave. Ode de 2 a.m. Rave. Also known as Rave. Or Dragon's Breath. The name of a perfume that purposely, whatever.
Love it. Good job, Lee.
Lee wins with Ode to 2 a.m. Rave.
Next one up.
Awesome.
The unspoken rule of DragonCon cosplay sewing clubs. Duct tape fixes
Now,
all,
pick your favorite.
or no one talks about cosplay sewing clubs. Duct tape fixes all, or no one talks about the cosplay sewing clubs.
If you can't be handy, at least you're handsome. You have no idea what that show is, John.
And duct tape fixes all wins. Sorry, Mandy. Steve gets that one.
And
That's
next
okay.
is-
I like yours, Mandy.
You have to, you have to battle the costuming track in
All right,
combat.
choose
What
your
weapon
favorite.
do you use? Sewing machine hand blaster or stormtrooper blaster? Which just pretty much guarantees that you're going to miss whoever you're shooting at the costume track. Sewing machine hand
They
blaster
might
or
like the
what's that?
They might like the costume track. So
And sewing machine hand blaster by Lou
Let's see
wins.
how they handle.
Best thing to find in your DragonCon room when you wake up.
All right, people.
30
it's
passed out
voting time.
randos or DC TV on the television and fresh coffee. The best thing to find at your DragonCon room when you wake up is either 30 passed out randos or DC TV on the television and fresh coffee.
one of those is more likely than the other.
Which I thought would be the randos, but the
Yes.
fresh
Moving right
because of the
along.
fresh coffee part of that particular one. Name of a new cleric spell that is
Now
never
it's time
useful.
to vote for your
Tooting
favorite.
in line or claw fungers. fingers? Probably fingers, but maybe fungers. I'm not sure. Because you only get one chance to type the stuff in if you make a mistype. But anyway, name of a new cleric spell that is never useful. Tooting in line or Tooting in line by Rachel wins.
I knew
Rachel, that one
new.
is
All right,
awesome.
check this out.
Gabe says the second one.
All right, vote for the one you like best.
Okay, rejected but probably accurate title of George R.R. Martin's final book of the A Song of Ice and Fire series. No is one answer, or screw you, I already got paid for full
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. I just realized that was screw you, I already won.
100%,
Already got
baby.
paid.
Woo! And that is exactly what I think it's going to be named.
Why you should never turn your back on a Deadpool. He might be
right,
performing a
choose your
superhero
favorite.
landing, or he is asexual. Why? I don't know why that means you can't turn your back on.
I think that's an oops.
In fact, I think that. Never mind. He might be performing a superhero landing, or he is asexual. Lou
Superhero
wins. He
landing.
might be performing a superhero landing with 100%.
However that is.
Let's
I
keep
can't
it going.
If DragonCon were a cruise ship, it would be named Flaming
Okay, everybody,
or
pick your favorite
Dragon
quip.
Cruise.
That's horrible.
I'm not sure.
I kind of like them both.
I don't
And
know
also,
how I want
why
to be on
not
a
both?
cruise ship named Flaming.
Flaming Dragon Cruise, though. Flaming Dragon
Oh,
Cruise.
together, I could see it. I just
like
don't know that I
that,
want to
yeah.
go on a ship that's called Flaming.
Well,
Lee apparently is the only one that
I
wants to
was
go on
the
that
only
ship
one
because
that
all the
was
rest
willing.
of them
I
went
don't
on
know
Dragon
why,
Cruise.
but I was like, woo!
You're going for the danger.
All right,
I
let's put a
guess.
cap on round
No,
two
really.
and see
All right.
those
Okay.
scores.
Round 2 sees
Oh,
Eternal's Ant still in the lead with Lou taking over second
Yay.
place.
And me
now
in third.
for
Ha
Whiplash,
And the last one,
where all
Oh,
Quip
no.
roads lead. You'll each receive a prompt that requires 3 separate responses. One of you wasn't paying attention, but that's fine.
3.
all right, you're going to have to give 3 answers this time. And again, those of you that are listening on the podcast, I don't know why I bother saying this because I even cut this part out. It zips to the end.
I'm almost done.
Dun, 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 dun.
I
Just
think
a
I
few
really
seconds
missed the
left.
assignment. I really. This is when I wish you had a take back button.
It is a lot of high pressure for such
Yes,
a
it
silly,
is.
stupid game.
It does.
And
I have
especially
a
since
little-
you got to type it in all
Okay,
right, and then
let's do
everyone's going to
this.
see if you mistype something or.
And
I feel like everybody's gonna know
Spelling?
what's on my mind.
Yeah. Okay, 3 things inflatable T-Rex have to watch out for: flaming drinks at Trader Joe's, Edward Scissorhands.
Now
Oh,
it gets
3
real.
things. Excuse me.
Pick your
Inflatable
favorite.
T-Rexes have to watch out for. What they have to watch out for: flaming drinks at Trader Joe's, Edward Scissorhand cosplayers, or the Atlanta Heat on Labor Day. True. Inflatable meteors, little kids, and sharp cosplay items is the other option of 3.
can't they just eat the little kids? Oh wait,
They can't reach them because their
they're not
hands are
supposed
so
to do
small.
that.
They can't
well, I
get
was
down
like,
there. Let's see. Flaming drinks at Trader Joe's, Edward Scissorhands, and the Heat wins. 3 most surprising things Bob and Carl find when cleaning up after Dragon Con.
All right, people, it's voting time.
Cosplay repair kits, snack bags, and patches is one thing. Or people, Voltaire's mic, and glitter P. The letter P. Yep, that's a thing. 3 most surprising things Bob and Carl find after cleaning up. People, Voltaire's mic, and glitter P wins. 3 new house names for Dragon Con attendees. House of Bacon, House of Sleep, House of Dragons. And Say No to Dayball House, Roll the Damn Dice House, or Where's the Con Suite House? I belong firmly in that last one. House of Bacon, Sleep, or Dragons, or Say No to the Dayball, Roll the Damn Dice, or Where's the Con Suite? It splits the room!
That actually, I liked them both. I like the House of Bacon. I did really.
That's all I think about with Dragon Con.
3 steps to have the perfect Dragon Con morning. Perfecting your cosplay,
Choose your
drink
favorite.
plenty of water, and put on deodorant. Or wake up on time, do not hit the snooze, ask a question in a panel. 3 steps to have a perfect Dragon Con morning. One of those things.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with all of them.
Again, there's nothing wrong with
Right,
any of
that's
those.
a solid lineup.
That's, yep.
Perfect your
we like
cosplay,
the
water, and
woo.
deodorant wins. All right, let's see where we're
I
going to stand.
cannot live with this tension. Show me the final scores.
Whoa!
Lou wins with 10,000.
Way
Bam.
to go, Lou! Woo! From 3-1.
Give a final rundown. Let's see. Winner was Lou. And let's see. Does it give us the rest of them? No, it does not give us the final scores. I
No,
don't know
well,
why
it
does
says
not
the
give
top answer was Superhero Landing with 100%, and screw you, I already got paid for full GOT.
All right.
Very nice.
Okay, that was awesome. That was so much fun. I actually really like that one. And the House of Bacon, I am right there with you.
Thank you.
I do think it's
I-
funny that you said House of Sleep, though.
Yeah, that's not.
We
Well,
don't get
that's
much
for some of
sleep.
us.
That's
For
on
some
my
of
mind
us.
right now.
Well-
That's all that's on my mind. Bacon and sleep. I'm sorry.
There are worse things.
I'm so tired.
There are worse things. There are worse things, and you're so tired. So awesome. Way to go, Lou. This is great. This is great. So I'm not going to ask y'all where can we go to find you, but we are going to say the email is dragoncon@dragoncon.org, and the website is dragoncon.org. Look through it, folks. It is the coolest of the cool. It has lots of stuff, and you can see who's been added daily and what new things, and you can sign up for a newsletter, which the newsletter is very important. Am I not correct?
You are
Both of y'all.
so
Are correct.
All right, there we go. I did my niceness now, John. Your
You
turn.
get it.
And really, that's all we can ask is that everyone, whatever at the end of the day happens at Dragon Con, just be nice to each other.
That's exactly right.
That's just Oh, wait a second. Really, I got to do this. Last year, Lemon Fia.
Hi, Lemon. Oh, nice.
Last year
Thank you.
at the Dragon Con parade area, waiting area, I saw Leigh and I wanted to say hi and tell her how much I love 50 Days, but was too shy. Oh,
Don't be shy. Come, give me hugs and high fives and elbows, whatever you want to do. I would love to. And don't be shy around me, because probably at that time I've been telling Deadpool to put the grenades away, all the Deadpools to put their grenades away, and I would love to talk to somebody, so that would be great. So yay. But also just Dragon Con, can't wait. Seriously, can't believe we're less than 50 days away right now.
Me neither.
Oh
All
my.
right. Well, until next time, for Leigh, Mandy, and Rachel, this is John saying peace.
Bye.
Bye.
This was a production of The Unique Geek. Call our comment line at 8133210TUG. That's 81332108884. Email us at thegeeks@theuniquegeek.com or 50days@theuniquegeek.com. Follow The Unique Geek on Facebook and Twitter. This podcast is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license.
What? John? John, it's just me up here, and you better stop.